Hello and welcome once more to Conscious TV. I'm Iain McNay and my guest today is Francoise Tibika.
Yeah.
Hi, Francoise.
Yeah.
And we're always trawling book reviews, Renata and I, and we get various magazines and we look through, and if a book looks interesting we order it and then we have a look and we see whether we'd like to maybe invite the guest. And I found this book which was called Molecular Consciousness: Why the Universe is Aware of Our Presence by Francoise. So as usual we contacted her, and she lives in Jerusalem, but she was visiting Europe and came over to London for the interview. So we're going to talk about molecular consciousness and how it affects virtually everything we do. I learned a lot through reading this book. So Francoise, you sent me some biographical notes to help me to get a more of a feel of you or your personal life, if you like. And one of the things you said was your father was very influential in your life at an early stage.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to your program. It's very nice, and I feel very lucky to be here with you. And yes, I was raised in an atmosphere of God is everywhere, and is a lot of an atmosphere of a strong faith in life and if God that is overcoming everything else. Nothing is important. Money is not important. All you have to do is to believe in God and to believe that God is loving you and helping you and will bring you where you have to be. This and my father also had this strong message that he has nothing is important but the people of Israel. That's what the message that I was getting from him, and that the people of Israel will have a very important role in freeing the world. This was his message.
Yes, yes. And you also had, there was a teacher, a well-known teacher, actually I hadn't heard of, but a researcher, she's quite well known, called Colette Aboulker-Muscat, who lived next door to you.
Yes.
And she also became very influential, didn't she?
Yes, I met Colette by chance, if one can say such a thing, in 1986, and she became a teacher to me. She was giving classes on imagery, and imagery is how you can, by closing your eyes, you can look into yourself and discover your inner world, and discover the power of imagination, the power of thoughts, that the outer world was much influenced by your inner world, which most of us, at that time, I didn't know about this inner world, and I discovered it through Colette.
And then you decided to study chemistry, although you were also drawn to religion and philosophy.
When I met Colette, I already had a PhD. I decided to learn chemistry because I had the feeling from my father that there was nothing interesting in learning philosophy or psychology. And with all these very view of the world, which was very not grounded, I needed science. I needed to make a connection, to go down, to be more earth to earth than hearing my father talking about God and apocalyptic views. I needed this grounding, so I arrived to chemistry by elimination, I would say.
Yes.
You know, mathematics is too abstract, physics for men, and biology too much things to memorize, so I took chemistry.
Yes, and that's something that's so important, isn't it? It's bringing down to human life our religious beliefs and whatever we have. Doesn't matter what religion we have. If we aren't able to live it on a practical level and enhance our lives, somehow it hasn't worked.
Yes, you as if I needed like another view to the world, not only a very spiritual and airy, like you know, Not I needed to have something solid.
Yes.
To ground myself, and chemistry was the best choice for me, and it helped me a lot to realize that we are not only spirit, but we are also made of matter. And what is this matter?
Yes.
This is what I wanted to discover.
And what did you start to learn about chemistry?
I started to learn that we are made of atoms and molecules, and these have their own rules. And they don't care about what our mind think in a way, because at a certain moment you're gonna die, and your mind can say whatever it wants, but you're gonna die. And so we have like a very short period of time where we live, and our molecules they never die. So we have this period of time where we have kind of control on the molecule, and I wanted to discover what kind of control do we really have if we have these molecules ruled by the rules of matter that chemistry teach.
Yes, and you reveal some facts in the book, and one that I didn't realize: we have in our body around 50 billion cells.
Yeah.
And the cells, of course, are made up of molecules.
Yeah.
So we must have even more billions of molecules in our body.
Yeah, it's an enormous number, and I'm very surprised that people, as you say, are not aware of this. It's very strange to me that this is what I wanted to teach. That we are matter, and this matter have rules.
Yes.
That we should not. That we should learn if we want to learn ourselves, and this is something that is very important and very in fashion. Know yourself, heal yourself. So who are you? You see.
Well, that's the big question we look at a lot on Conscious TV. Who are you?
Yeah.
And of course, as you're suggesting, we are. We have our belief system, we have our minds, and then we have physically. What are we physically?
So what I try to answer is not to who you are, but what are you?
What we are, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, what are you?
Yeah. So you start the book by talking about living matter and inert matter. So what's the difference between those two? Well,
inert matter, actually, what chemistry teaches, that there is no, the whole world is built of something like 109 atoms, and or more than 100, and that inert matter and living matter are made of the same atoms. I mean, if you look at the chemically speaking, there is no difference in the structure, in the inner. It's not that living matter has something different than inert matter, like a vital force. Chemistry never speak about a vital force, and there is no vital atom that we cannot find in inert matter. So what is really the difference between inert matter and life? And we see there is a difference, obviously. And this difference is more in the direction of the molecule and the activity of a molecule, of the molecules. Inert matter is not alive because it doesn't react with the outside. The molecules of these chairs are going to be the same for years, but your molecules are in transit. It's always changes. You take molecules and you give up molecules. So we are like a transit state into this very stiff and eternal, if I could say, in terms of tens of years of inert matter. Inert matter is like the decoration of life. Life is like a theater. And the inert matter is a decoration, is the background of where things happen.
So our molecules in human beings, there's they're always moving, aren't they? They're always
Yeah.
reacting. There's always
Yeah,
a process
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's life and death the whole time. Every second there's molecules that are, I guess they're not completely dying, but they're changing their form. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. No, an atom can never die. This is the first law of thermodynamics. You cannot lose matter.
Yeah.
And it never dies. What dies is the coherence.
The form.
The coherence between your
okay.
molecules. This is what is lost when you die, the glue. And this glue has really no really, the glue which we could call the vital force has no place in a chemical reaction, in a chemical jargon. Vital force is not belonging to a biological lexicon, and still there is something.
Okay, but why is there that change? Why is that happening? Why does something die? What's the kind of... Okay, I understand that there's the movement of the molecules, there's the constant reactions.
Yeah.
But what is the process there? Is it something that just happens, or do we know why that happens, that something dies?
No, we don't know. We don't know. Today we don't know why this is happening.
Okay, so I'm just going to work through the different sections of your book. So you mentioned at one point alchemists in the book. The source of their wisdom and eternal life was found in the inert matter. So obviously life comes out of inert matter.
Yes.
So how does that process happen?
Yes, well, in inert matter you have, when the inert matter reacts, you can have two directions. The direction of inert matter is to go to equilibrium, meaning when you have a spontaneous reaction, it goes either to more chaos or more mixing, and it goes to decomposition. But in the living process, you go to a synthesis process, which means that you are taking energy and matter from outside, and you are making new proteins, So this as if you had like two forces, one that is going to death, and one is going to life, which is to take molecules from the outside and making them and making a synthesis to something that will also die at some point. But there is an exchange with the outside all the time, and this exchange is like making us react all the time. And at a certain point, and we don't know how, and we don't know why exactly, this coherence between the molecules, that one part know that it has to make a protein, and the other part know that it has to make another vital molecule. This coherence and this, what I call the communication between the molecules, will stop at a certain point. Life is a communication between the molecules. In a glass of water, there is no communication. If I cut here a piece, this part of the wood would not know that I cut a piece. But if I cut your finger, something will know. I mean, you will have like other cells. This is life, the communication.
Yeah, other cells come and try and fix it.
Yes, yes.
So there's a whole process going on, yes. It's, well, the human body is such an incredible, intricate organization of organisms. And it seems with the human body that we forget that it's always changing.
Yeah, of
and I know we get on with our lives and we're in our thoughts and everything, but every second the cells dying, the cells reborn, there's these chemicals going around that inform, keep in touch with all the molecules.
Yeah.
It's just this amazing process going on.
Yes, and you know, for instance, you must feel a pain, or a discomfort in your body, instead of running to a drugstore and buy something to change, as if it's going to be fatal or forever, you know. The body changes all the time, and it also gives you an opportunity to be new all the time, you know, to forget what has happened yesterday or 1 hour, and try to fit to the new situation, because every single moment there is a new situation. You are new.
Yeah. And also you talk about there being, everything is virtually space. I think form is, I've got the figure down here, 99.9999% of the universe is practically empty.
Yes.
So even though we have this form which we see, if we really look into the form, there's practically nothing there.
Yes, yes, yes. We are a real construction of our brain. Matter at the atomic level is waves, is a wave packet, and all that you can touch and see is a kind of, even for science, is an illusion, because it's an image that your brain has constructed by your 5 senses. All you can see, all you can feel is our waves. If you close your eyes, there are waves, only waves, and apparently your brain is building the picture that you see all around, and the smell and the texture and the colors is a construction of your brain. It's like when you have an electromagnetic wave reaching a computer, and then you have an image, and sometimes you have a 3-dimensional image coming out from a computer. You know, like this, how do you call them, virtual reality, you know, virtual games, you can feel, you can...
So when I look at you,
yeah,
and I see Francoise sitting here, and I had dinner with you 2 nights ago, and I get to know you a little bit, and so I see you physically. What you are saying is, I'm just seeing waves, and my brain is putting together a construct, so I see form. Is that correct?
You don't see waves. There are waves, and your brain is constructing the image, yeah.
So when I look at my eyes, are you saying I don't really see anything? When I look through my eyes at you, I think I'm seeing you through my eyes.
Well, the image is made in your brain somewhere, and you're projecting this image outside, yeah. Yeah, the eyes are... I wouldn't tell you exactly where the image is built, but it's a construction that's yeah. If you close your eyes, you know, it's like this famous say that if there is a tree falling in a forest and nobody is here to see the tree and to hear it as it really fallen, you see, this is a question of quantum mechanics.
Okay, so how does it work with the molecules then? Because there's molecules everywhere. Is the molecules in the space between us?
Of course there are molecules,
so
air molecules.
Everywhere, air is
yeah.
everything is molecules.
Yeah, yeah.
So how does it work then? And I know further on in the book you talk about the molecules being full of information.
Yeah.
In fact, you even say the molecules at one point are information.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's information that's passing. There's my 5 senses, your 5 senses. I'm full of molecules, you're full of molecules, the air is full of molecules.
Yeah.
So in a way, there's one thing, whatever it is,
yeah.
and there's molecules that have different form. Is that correct?
The molecules are waves, actually, and again, what is making the forms of the molecules and the color is the brain, this amazing system that we have. All the senses are making this picture that you see.
Okay, so there's 3 basic laws you talk about.
Yeah.
There's the law that we cannot make or destroy energy.
Yes.
So that means when I'm using up energy now, my molecules, my cells are all firing away, and I've got some energy from my breakfast, and of course I breathe in oxygen.
Yeah.
So what happens to that energy once I've used it up, for me that energy is gone. So where is it?
Oh, it's not gone. You are using it. First of all, you are using it to warm up your body. You are 37 degrees. You have to keep this machine at 37, and outside is about 20, 22. So you have like 15 degrees to warm up, and 15 degrees is a lot of energy to create.
But yes, but once, okay, I use the energy of the food and the air and the water and everything else,
Yeah.
but if I stop drinking and I stop eating, and of course if I stop breathing, my cells basically die, and I'm not in this form anymore. I'm not in a perceived form.
Exactly.
So where's that? Once energy is, let's take a better example. Let's say when there's wood burning in a fire.
Yeah.
So the wood and the fire, that gives heat, it gives energy.
Yeah.
So once that the wood is burnt and it's just charcoal, where's the energy gone?
The energy is dispersed. It's like is crumbling, you know, like you take a piece of bread and it becomes like little pieces. So the energy is not disappearing. The heat energy are moving. It's like as if you had, you know, when you, let's say you have a pool of balls, and you take this stick and you move one ball. So the ones that are all near are going to move faster, and then slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly. But the energy is dispersed, but it doesn't disappear. It will come to a slower and slower and slower and slower motion, but it will not disappear. It will transform into something else, but it will not disappear. Let's say you have I heat this glass, and it's going to be hot, and then it's going to cool down, but the heat is going to be dispersed in the atmosphere. It's going to lose it becomes less dense. That's all happens. That's all.
And so it's clear that we can use energy.
Yeah.
You talk about we can transform energy.
Yes.
But we can't actually create it. We think we create energy, but we can't. We're using, the molecules are interacting with other molecules, and that's how we get our energy.
Yes. We don't create energy. Even in a famous pilot or factory, we use the energy, and for instance, we use the energy of a waterfall, we use the energy of the wind, but we use the energy of the sun, but we can even store energy, but we cannot create energy. Yeah. This is our gift. So when you have energy in your body, you have to be very careful. What do you do with it?
Yes, I've learned that over the years. Yeah.
You know, and you won't have it for long. You know, you will have it only during your lifetime. So it's a very big responsibility. You have energy now. It's a gift. What do you do with it? Do you spend it in things that are not giving you pleasure or giving you life, or you just waste it? For instance, anger is a very stupid way to lose your energy, in a way.
Okay, so the second law is chaos rules.
Yeah.
I quite like this law about the chaos rules. So just talk about how that manifests in day-to-day life, the chaos rules.
Yes, well, this is the second law that is very is controlling our life. We are dying because of the second law. If we don't use energy, we don't consume energy, as you say, this body will soon we will have like a defectious reaction, and if I stay here in my chair for 2-3 days without using energy, I will die. So what it means, I will die. My molecules will lose their coherence, which is made and they will disperse. You know, like the water, like the heat of this glass, if I am not going to heat it again, it will get cold. So my molecules will get cold also, and with the cold they will disperse in the atmosphere. They will not have energy to coagulate and to stay together, and I will die. So this is the second law of thermodynamics, the spontaneous reaction, the spontaneous direction of molecules is to go to dispersion, to mixing. If I put here a wine, then the wine will mix with the water. This is the spontaneous. This is a law. This is what the second law is telling you, that the spontaneous reaction of a molecule is to go to more chaos. But on the other hand, you have life, and life is momentary. Going to the other direction, which means to synthesis, to order, to so we have these two motion into our body. We have molecules that every minute are going to chaos because we are losing cells through all kind of process that and we are gaining energy with which we are making new cells, and this movement is it doesn't look. It looks as if it's going to against the second law, but it doesn't, because in the overall process, in this process of staying alive, we are also making a lot of disorder by losing cells or by losing our salive and other liquid and solid. So we are also putting more disorder in this world, but in the same time we are making order. But the disorder, the overall disorder, is like compensating the order that we are making.
Okay. And the third law?
The third law, yeah.
Is potential order would be cold.
Yeah, if everything was in order, order according to the chemistry, then the very the order would be like molecules that are stacked.
And there's no movement.
No movement at all. No movement at all, and this could be only at a very, very low temperature. This is a perfect order for, and everything is separated, and this is temperatures that cannot be reached. I mean, this is not really a law. This is a statement.
Yes. And you actually say the absolute zero is 459.67 degrees. Yeah. And then everything's the atoms are motionless.
Yeah, which is not possible actually. Nobody in no laboratory this temperature could be reached, because it's like what is interesting is that atoms cannot be still. It cannot be, because quantum mechanics tells that you cannot know the position and the speed of an atom. If you knew exactly where an atom is, it wouldn't be an atom. This is what quantum mechanics also tells you. Yeah. And it cannot be.
And you have another heading, life is not restful.
Yes, of course.
It's like, and in a way that's what so many of us on a spiritual path are searching for, is peace and rest. But inherently on a biological level, there's all these reactions going on, and life, there's always activity, isn't there? Life is not restful, as you say.
Yes, we are always exchanging matter and energy with the outside, but it is not exactly connected to the rest that you are talking about. I think that the spiritual rest is more connected to a kind of harmonious communication between our molecules. Yes. This is a kind of peace, of rest, that you are very that there is no noise between your molecules, like you would have a radio on on a fine tune, with no noise. This is the spiritual rest, a pure sound. Because if we are talking about waves, you can imagine that we are full of waves now, and that these waves might, if they were sound waves, we would have like a special tone. Each of us would have a special tone, a special voice. So the spiritual rest you're talking about would be like, you know, tuning your radio to have only this pure voice with no noise around.
It's almost as if, as I listen to you explain this, which you explain very clearly, it's as if we're somehow need to allow ourselves to just let the molecules do whatever they want to do.
In a way, yeah.
And not resist on different levels, whether it's physical or emotional or psychological or spiritual. We need to allow life, molecules, just to take their course.
Yeah, because life is a natural process, and it creates life. So when you reach this point of your molecules being very alive in a way, and very aware of each other, and communicate with each other, then you enter the stream of life, and life always brings life.
Life always brings life.
Life is immortal. This is what is.
Yes. Yeah.
And death is vital to life, and life is immortal.
Right, because you talk about at every moment we choose between life and death.
Yes,
but it's not really a conscious decision, is it?
No.
But it's somehow allowing our body, all the molecules, to make that decision for us, what lives and what dies.
Yes, our body is making the decision. What I meant is that we have energy, as I said, and we can use it either to put all our energy into this life process, or into the death process. You can waste your energy in a way.
Yes, you mentioned that. Yes, yeah. Okay, so how do the molecules communicate with each other? We've established that everywhere there's molecules.
Yeah.
We perceive them having different forms.
Yeah.
But how is that communication happening? What do we know about that?
We don't know much. All I can say is what I feel about it. I feel that because there are waves, the way that we can communicate is by having interference between the waves, and you have constructive interference and you have destructive interference. And constructive interference is to have light and to have more light. And destructive interference is to have light, and they become darkness. You can make darkness with two rays of light, you see. So what I would say that when you have a constructive interference, you have more life, and when you have destructive interference, you destruct your energy.
So what influences the constructive or the destructive interference?
Well, first of all, I think that we have to recognize this process in us, what gives us energy and what takes out energy from our life, and to go through the processes that are pulling us up and not down. So it's more kind of recognition, and I think that the most important in this process is to look at our emotions. I think emotions play a very important role in the way we rule our energy.
Okay. Well, let's talk more about that. So how do you find in your own life that looking at the emotions is helpful?
For instance, you are talking to me, and I could say, that I could have like thoughts, this man is trying to put me down, he's trying to whatever. And this thought would give me emotion that are, making me small and making me miserable and negative.
Yeah.
Or I could say, what a great opportunity I have here to be sitting with Iain and have this wonderful conversation. So this is an emotion that I can choose, actually.
Okay.
And this would give me a different attitude, and I believe that my molecules would be raising up and very happy, and this will make me go out of here with a great spirit, and this is all it is about, how you look at life.
Yeah, so in a way we do have some power.
Of course,
over the molecules.
Yeah,
we can influence the molecules.
Yeah. Only during our lifetime. So use it. We have a tremendous power.
So talk more about that, because this starts to get really interesting. This tremendous power we have.
Yes, we have the power to decide how you want to look at people around. You know, we can choose. This is what quantum mechanics is saying. You choose. The brain is choosing the how to look at matter, because there are so many options. Matter is like a wave packet of possibilities. This is what matter is. Matter is only possibilities, and our brain is choosing the possibility, one of the tremendous options, number of options that there are, and this choice is made through our emotion. This is what I have discovered through my teachings with Colette and others that I am learning with today.
Okay, so the picture gets more fascinating in a way, because it almost seems like contradictory. On the one hand, everywhere is molecules.
Yeah.
We are all connected, and I know you go on later in the book to talk about that actually we're all in a way one organism, because the molecules are everywhere.
Yeah.
And yet, on the other hand, you're saying that in our human life, while we're alive, there is a decision-making process, or there is a preferential process, which we have a degree of control over as to how to be positive or negative in life, which it affects the molecules. So let's take an example that I found interesting that you talk about in the book, and you talk about when we look at a painting.
Yeah.
And there's, I know Renata was telling me, my wife was telling me once, that the story she read, there's quite a famous museum, I think it's in Italy somewhere, where there's old paintings, and sometimes people will look at a painting and they will go crazy afterwards, and sometimes they're even taken off for a time into a psychiatric ward because it's triggered something in them.
Yeah.
And so on a chemical level, what's happened there, from what I understand you're saying, is there's the molecules in me, let's say, look at a painting, and the painting also contains molecules, and something is triggered here. So how does that all work in terms of how we chemically influenced by whatever we see, whether it's a painting or anything else?
Well, I believe that among you have matter, and you look at a painting, and what is a painting? It's like a board with a layer of molecules. And you look at this.
But the board is molecules too.
Yeah.
So everything is molecules.
Everything is molecules. But here I'm focusing on the layer of paint of this board, and these layers are influencing not only your sight but your emotions. This is meaning that the emotions also come from matter. They don't come from outside. They come from matter. So the color of the sky is giving you emotions. The scenery around you is giving you emotions. And this is the link between matter and mind, because then after emotions we have thought and we have imagination, and so these emotions are the bridge that is making the link between mind and matter. I don't think there is a separation between matter and mind. It's all one, and it belongs to these many waves that I was talking about. When you choose the way to look at, when my brain chooses the color of your sweater, it chooses also the emotion that this color will bring to me. You see? this is how it works. It's like a whole package deal.
Yes, you see, I thought previously that the thoughts trigger the emotions, but what you're saying is the emotion from the molecules triggers the thoughts.
Yes, and then, but it can go both ways, you know, and then the thought can trigger the emotion, which change your molecules, because they are like one. They are two sides of the same coin.
Okay. So what we're saying is that I have a choice, if I personalize it.
Yeah.
Emotions are triggered by molecules, essentially.
Yeah.
And then once I'm aware of an emotion, then I, as a human being, then have a choice, whether I go down the route of following the emotion, or wherever that's going to take me, and that's going to also be part of my mental conditioning, because we're all in a way conditioned, or I can actually stop the process of the emotion or question it, and possibly go down a different route. And that brings up something else that you mentioned in the book about the brain itself, and you talk about, and because the brain often is known as the control center for a human being, but you're saying it's more like a traffic policeman. So it's conveying information that comes in itself. It's not making decisions. Have I got that correct?
Yeah, I think it doesn't make the decision, but it makes an interpretation, and you choose the interpret. It's not only a traffic, but it makes the interpretation of this weather being blue, but you choose what emotion is connected to this blue.
Yes.
You see, something in yourself, which I wouldn't locate, and certainly not only in your brain, that choose the emotion that are connected to the color that your brain is projecting to you.
Okay, the chooser of the emotions, I presume that goes outside the world of chemistry, does it?
Yes, yes.
So, do you have a feel for that? Do you want to give us a clue on that, or who is the chooser of the emotions? Or interpreter?
There is obviously something bigger than our brain. We are not only our brain and what it dictates. We have something else, which I think this is the only place where we really have a choice. It's beyond the power of the brain. And I think that this is something that each of us has to discover in his own way, that we have this observer, that this is what we are, actually. And what is beyond this observer, this is also another question. Who is the one who is observing the observer?
That's a very good question.
So this already belongs to metaphysics, and I think that I will write another book about these issues, and it has to be more clear.
Yes. So just to try and put this in more basic terms, so the levels that we know exist is the emotions which are coming via the brain. The brain's like the messenger, and then we have the observer who's watching everything that's going on. So I can watch my emotions, I can watch my mind react to situations, and then there's that observer. And then, because I know that I'm observing, it's who's, as you said, is observing the observer, which would generally be called by many people consciousness. But that's something that is very intangible for us, especially from a scientific point of view.
Yes, we are getting there to metaphysics. But what is interesting is that what I would like to emphasize in my book is that there are no two different truths. I mean, this consciousness which you can reach through spiritual practices or spiritual path is not different from the one you can reach through science. This is the important message of the book.
Well, talk more about that.
That there is no contradiction between a spiritual path and a scientific path. If the science is really looking for truth, and I believe that you reach exactly the same what D'Espagna, a French physicist, has called the veiled reality. You see, something that is beyond everything, that many people would call God. You see, and Einstein has said himself that science without God is lame, and excuse me, science without religion is lame, and religion without science is blind. So we need both. I mean, one shouldn't laugh or discard or disdain. Is that a correct English word?
Yes,
disdain the other.
Reject, yes.
Reject,
yeah,
yes. This is the message of my book also.
Yes.
Both takes us to the same truth. This is what I feel.
Yes.
And during all my research, I wanted to see how it can fit.
Yes. Well, you're explaining it very well.
Thank you.
And there's a line here I wanted to read out. You are unique, but not cut off from the world. Even if you feel lonely, you are in constant contact with the molecules that surround you. Everything is connected to everything.
Yes, yes. You are unique because in each of your cells you have a DNA that no one has and no one can take from you. So we are unique. We are mostly empty. As you said, atoms are mostly empty, but all of us are unique. I cannot be you, and you can see all the different faces, in the 7 billion people that are in the world. Everyone is different. So we are really unique, and with this uniqueness that is given to us for only for our lifetime, we express we have this special tune that we should sing, like a song, and everybody can have a very, very pure tone. This is our gift, and we are connected because whatever you feel, your molecules, your waves are hitting mine now, and either we have a good interference or a bad interference, but I can feel you, and you have your body is not finished here. It's going out because waves are not finished. They have no borders, and you are influencing the universe. It's as if you think that if your eyes are closed, I won't see you. You see what I mean? Even if you are not aware, or if you are a bit close to this wonder that is around you, but you do belong to it.
So how does consensus reality fit into all this? And again, you have a line here which I wrote out there. You talk about quantum theory is still very new. It is hardly started to infiltrate the public mind yet. Could there be a wall between matter and mind placed there solely by consensus? Yeah.
I feel that people think that there is matter and there is mind, and two different worlds, but it's not. It's like during before Copernicus, we thought that we had man, and above the sky, which looked like a ceiling, we had God, and it's different. We will never be connected, and we are totally separated from something much bigger than us. And here too, I feel that we have a wall inside, not outside, and this wall should be broke because it should we should be much more harmonious, much more in how would you say, in accordance with our thoughts. Our body should really reflect our thoughts. You see what I mean? That we feel that we can eat whatever we want, and we will have thoughts that are not connected to what we eat, which is not true. You see what I mean? There is a strong connection.
It's coming back to this harmony, isn't it?
Yes.
There's
yes,
the interconnectedness,
yes.
and about, in our own way, finding our own harmony.
And I believe that if we try to see this wall and in a way to break it, and how you break it, only by looking at it, you can break it, by stopping believing that he's there. So we would be much more in harmony between our thoughts and our life, our inner world and our outer world. Most of the misery from the world come because we feel a big difference between our inner world and our outer world. We are not able to express our will, our love, our fears. You know, we are totally disconnected. Most of people are putting masks because they are afraid to be what they really are. But so they have put a wall inside themselves, and this wall should be broken. And this is a consensus I think we should take now.
And the seed of the wall is this perceived separation.
Yes.
Which the world of chemistry and molecules completely debunks.
Yeah, in a way.
There isn't really separation. Yet somehow we believe in this separation, and we don't really, as you explained today, we don't really understand on a molecular level how everything is so connected.
Yes, yes. And Heinrich Fromm wrote that, he was a humanist and a psychologist, I think. He wrote that the deepest will that a human being has is communication. We want to communicate. This is what we really want, and we can if we would take this wall out. Because you are me in a way, because we are connected, and all we are is like a little different. Is if I can afford to say that in Judaism we are all images of God. It's as if we were all mirrors of the image of God. So what we have to do is to clean our mirror, meaning to take this wall out and being who we are, you know, taking all the fears, all the things that are preventing us from being ourselves, and then we could feel that we are all one.
Well, that's a pretty good place to finish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feel we are all one.
Yeah.
Which science tells us is true.
Yeah.
And somehow we have forgotten, or we have to relearn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Francoise. Thank you very much for coming along, especially to visit us in London for Conscious TV.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to mention the book again, which is Molecular Consciousness: Why the Universe is Aware of Our Presence. And thank you for watching, and I do hope we see you again soon. Goodbye.